No, fuck it. We'll do it. We'll do it live. We'll do it. No. We're not going to do it live. Can I complete the race across France 1,000 kilometer ultra endurance race? Let's find out. My name is Christoph. I'm a fitness coach, bike nerd, and eating disorder survivor. In mid-June, which is 3 months away from me recording this, yeah, I'm gonna tackle the 1,000 kilometer race that is the race across France. This is just insane to think about even right now. It crosses like these really unforgiving roads in the south of France. Any moment now, should stop. Yeah, the tricky thing is I only have 5 days to do it. My mission is not only just to complete this race and under the time limit, but to also share my journey and my experience with mental health and struggling with eating disorder, while then trying to get as healthy as I possibly can and live a happy and healthy life. I want this little video series, or whatever it turns out to be, to inspire, motivate and instill hope for those who are in a dark place, or for those who are caring for someone who is battling with their mental health. Trying to record a video here. 3 years ago I attempted to complete this race, but I was medically pulled because I sustained a concussion on day 3 as I crashed coming down a mountain. But that wasn't actually really made apparent to me until later, when on day 4 I got caught in a thunderstorm and yeah, had to descend down the mountain in the car of some really kind soul who took pity on me and helped me get back down to the checkpoint, which was at the base of the mountain. And I got checked out by medical staff and they were like, yeah, you have hypothermia, get into the shower for 20 minutes, and yeah, also you have a concussion, so therefore I could not continue the race. And last year I attempted again to start the race. I prepared, everything was going well until 2 weeks before the event I crashed and broke 2 ribs and split my eye open here, getting 5 stitches. So yeah, 3rd time's a charm. In saying that, I do have a penchant for crashing. Just this week, in fact, I've been involved in 2 biking accidents. The first one, yeah, ran into the back of a car, had to go to the ER and get 3 stitches in my lip, which you can kind of still see the stitches are here. That was last Tuesday, and then Tuesday, just there 2 days ago, another cyclist crashed into me, sent me flying across the road, smashed my sunglasses and my AirPod, and a couple of scratches and bruises here on my arm and hip. So yeah, so actually my boss sage cleansed me and then sage cleansed my fixie, because yeah, I must be cursed and I kind of need all the help I can get. So wish me luck for this year. So what are the demands of the race across France? And what is the race across France? It is essentially an ultra endurance race. This year's course, which I don't actually have the full details of yet, is at least 1,000 kilometers long with 18,000 meters of elevation gained. Which is the equivalent of climbing Mount Everest twice. And you only have 5 days or 120 hours to do all of it. I will really need to strategize. I will need to be paying close attention to my food and to my efforts on every single day. Last time I got a little bit too excited on day 1 and dug myself into a pretty deep hole, which I then kind of found impossible to dig myself out of. On these very mountainous and long days, you can be burning anywhere between 6,000 to 10,000 calories. And if you dig yourself into a deep deficit, then yeah, it's going to be very, very hard to eat enough to get yourself going properly. So this time around, I'm going to have a much more dialed in sense of what I can do every day and what I need to eat and what I need to fuel myself with every day. Another important thing to remember here is that it is unsupported. So I will be carrying my extra supplies, my food, my sleeping setup and all of that gear with me on my bike, which last time I think added more than 7 kilos, maybe closer or above 8 kilos, which doesn't sound like a hell of a lot, but over the course of a 1,000 kilometer race, it really makes a big difference. Safety here is also a really big thing, as a lot of this riding could be done potentially at night, and these are not closed roads. So even though I am on a bike touring across France, this is not a Tour de France level race, and there will be cars on the road. Unfortunately, this is something that resonates quite a lot, because the first time I did do this race, or started this race, like I said, on day 2, we were notified that yeah, the morning of day 2, a competitor, a cyclist, a person was hit by a car and passed away. So yeah, this is something that needs to be thought about carefully and garnered a lot of respect. So a key part to staying safe is formulating a strategy and knowing the course. But like I said, we don't have a lot of information at this point. We do know that we do have 2 checkpoints, and we do know where those are, but exactly at what point along the course is unclear for now. But knowing that there are these 2 checkpoints, it does give me something to work towards, and it's a point where I know that I can refuel and recharge my electronics, which is also great. But one thing about this race is that even though it is held every year, the course changes every year. So I will be going through that in more detail, kind of digging my teeth into it a lot more as details come through, and once we have all the information, then do a little roundup, summarize, and kind of go through my strategy. All that I know for now is that I definitely have my work cut out for me. That scared the shit out of me. That's fucking loud. In the coming videos, I want to go over what it takes to actually complete this race. So I'll be talking about training, nutrition, hydration, even sleep, recovery, and then yeah, how I'm mentally preparing for the race. I did mention at the beginning of this video that a main vein throughout this series, or again whatever it turns out to be, is mental health and eating disorder awareness. I've had my struggles with anorexia, depression, self-harm, suicidal thoughts, and at a point in my late teens attempted to take my own life. But thank you to the amazing people that I have in my life, I survived all of that, and then I'm now living a much happier and much healthier life. And I will say that sport, or cycling more specifically, was a big part in me regaining my mental health and strength. It gave me a real reason to improve my physical health, because I fell in love with the sport, and to do more of it I needed to be stronger. I want to spread my passion and share my experiences and my love for the sport, and even if you don't fall in love with cycling along the way like I have, maybe you'll find your own motivation to get stronger and to find that passion in something else, and yeah, live, you know, a happier life. And this way then you can take full advantage of all that life has to offer us. Probably the hardest part of this entire race is the fact that it is completely unsupported. You are riding alone. Each rider has to look after themselves, each rider has to look after their equipment, their supplies, and then each day tackle the road alone. Now at these checkpoints you can charge your electronics, get some hot food and a little bit of shelter, but there are only these 2 checkpoints along the whole 1,000 kilometer route. My experience with this race, I kind of jokingly refer to as nightmarish. I have completed many endurance and ultra endurance races before, and on quite mountainous roads I've completed 200, 300 and 500 kilometer races, and for that time I did start the RAF, or the Race Across France. I got about 730 kilometers in before abandoning or being medically pulled. And last year, for last year's race, I did feel in pretty good condition. I felt like preparation was going well, but 2 weeks before the race I did crash, breaking 2 ribs, as I've already mentioned, and splitting my face open. So I did flirt with starting, but much wiser men than me talked me out of it. But yeah, I was flirting with the idea of still starting. I have mentioned my mission for these videos, but my goals for the race, I guess we'll get onto those at a later point. yeah, if you want to see me get into race shape, then take on this ultra endurance race, see how I prepare for it, see how everything goes, and then if ultimately, hopefully, cross the finish line, then yeah, subscribe, leave a little comment down below. If you have any questions about the race, about my training, about any of the topics that I touched on, even around the mental health stuff, please leave a question down below. I would love to hear from you, and yeah, let's see where we go from here. Be sure to wish me luck, please, and we'll see each other again soon.